Hello and welcome to Casual Leaves. Today is a very special episode in a way for me because I have been sent these wonderful APS D-Type Moss Poles by Aroid Plant Supplies. Aroid Plant Supplies is a channel on Instagram which makes these wonderful moss poles for aroid plants. They also sell aroid plants, which is another great thing, and many other plant accessories. I'll be talking a bit more about this moss pole today as I try it for the first time. They approached me on Instagram and wanted me to review these moss poles, and they were very kind to send me this pack, which I will be unboxing today. I will be using my Philodendron Splendid to be put on this moss pole. I do have some sphagnum moss, which also I ordered from Aroid Plant Supplies, so we'll have a look at the moss as well. There's something really special about these moss poles, which is what I want to discuss when I open it, unbox it, and show you guys. The idea by Aroid Plant Supplies was to send this to me so that I can try it out and give them feedback, because they have spent more than 2 years researching and improving these moss poles. So really high hopes from this moss pole, and I'm sure it works really well. Do check out their Instagram. They have full process on how to make the moss poles, how to put your plants on them, and I think it's been one of the really great channels I've come across in terms of quality of plants and products. A really good seller for sure, highly recommended. With that, let's get into unboxing this. Okay, so I have the moss poles here. These come in sheets, like flattened sheets, which you can assemble on your own. I will just remove the packaging. I have already removed the outer packaging. So here are the sheets. These are made of special plastic, which is actually unbreakable, foldable for high temperatures, and to take good amount of pressure so that it doesn't break open with the plants. So here we go. They have a little logo here, which is actually very nice. Sorry, it was upside down. So they have this logo here, and this is the sheet. It's got these 3 lock mechanisms. They are labeled 1, 2, and 3. I'll come to it when we make it, what exactly that means. And they've got this honeycomb structure for controlled moisture release. Again, I'll talk about all the details as I put my plant on the moss pole. They told me they're sending me something else too. I think it is this, which is a clear one. It's a clear plastic. I think that's the difference. So this one is see-through, but it's kind of slightly opaque, whereas this one is completely transparent. So I think maybe this is one more of their moss poles which they will be soon releasing. Here we go. This is completely transparent, so that's also really cool. I think this one is what we should use today, or the other one. I think we'll use the other one so that I can show the process of how we fold it into this, and we can use this in the future for some other plant. This is really cool. I do like the whole transparent thing. I will also just unbox the sphagnum moss that I ordered from them. There's been a bit of a shortage of sphagnum moss, it seems, but they were so kind to send me the last bit of it left with them. I love the packaging. This is the sphagnum moss. They told me it's a nice long length of the sphagnum moss, like 3 to 6 inches or something like that. So they're longer strands which will help retain more moisture. Wow, it's really nice. Sphagnum moss. So really nice long strands, very clean, very fresh. Doesn't smell. That's the first thing to check. There's no smell. It's really fresh. So I'll just keep this on the side here till we get into the folding of the moss pole. Okay, so here is the moss pole sheet. I wanted to show a close-up of everything that I'm doing, so I have put the camera a bit closer. The length of this moss pole is 2 feet. It's 2 feet long, and there are 3 hooks. There are 3 different hooks which are labeled 1, 2 and 3, so that you can decide the thickness of the final moss pole. They recommend to use the first slot to make the moss pole, which is like the one at the edge here on this side, because that is the best for your plants in 6 or 8 inches pots. Before I do that, I must fold this here. There are these lines that you will see that will help you get the right D shape of the moss pole. So that's why they're called D-type, because it makes a D shape when you have made your moss pole. Okay, so we have done the folding bit. It's got that initial shape. Now I'm going to start putting the moss in the center. I will be leaving a bottom portion empty where I'll be putting charcoal, which will go in the pot, and the rest of it is going to be the moss. So they advise to fill around 500 to 700 grams of moss. You should try and pack it a bit properly and not too loosely, otherwise the moss will not retain the moisture and it will defeat the purpose. So I'm also going to make sure that I fill enough amount of moss in the pole. I'm gonna fill the moss right till the top, just leaving the bottom section a bit empty for now, and we will see that why. So I've got a few of the pots which are with me. I'm just gonna see which one is the best because my plant is a bit small. It's currently in a 4-inch pot, so I don't want to upsize it too much. It can be this or it can be this as well. Better would be this actually. This is fine, but I think maybe this is an 8-inch pot. I think 4 and 8, it is definitely bigger, but because we are adding the moss pole, I will be left with the right amount of space inside, so it works for me. I will just push the moss a bit inside because I don't want it to touch the soil. Yeah, so if you see, my sphagnum moss is starting here, right at the rim. Underneath that, we will be adding big pieces, big chunks of charcoal, which I actually do have. So I have big pieces like these ones, which I'm going to fill here now. I think this is a really good hack for moss poles, which I actually saw on their page and they told me about it in chat as well. This really helps. So here we go. Oops. Yeah, here we go. A bit of a sphagnum moss. Yeah, so this is how it's looking inside. That's all the charcoal pieces at the bottom, and this is the top. So this bit is ready. I will just keep it here till I remove my plant from its older pot. So this is a Philodendron Splendid, which is a mix of verrucosum and melanochrysum. The backs on this definitely will show the traits of the parents. This has got that orangish veiny look from verrucosum and the splendid kind of leaf shapes. This is the newest leaf. It is pushing out another leaf here, if you see, but it's quite tiny right now. I'm hoping with the moss pole it will finally size up. I did need to repot this plant because it's got a lot of roots and it would dry up very soon. So that's how it is. I will not be disturbing the root ball at all. In fact, let me bring my root powder to add. So I've got my rooting powder which I'll be adding. I have got my soil mix which I made by myself. I'm going to be using that. Just going to inspect the roots once. It's all fine. Don't want to damage it. So now the moss pole, of course, is pretty heavy. It's got about 600 to 700 grams of moss. Let me put it on this side so you can see better. So yes, this is heavy, so I'll have to be very careful when I'm putting the soil. I don't want everything to fall down. So, guys, okay, I am back. This is my final output. I have put these 3 little ropes to make the plant be snug onto the moss pole. Just a quick close up. As you can see, that's the base of the plant. The charcoal ends here, the sphagnum moss starts right there, and we have it filled right up to the top. Maybe I could have had a bit more, but that's fine. So here it is, looking great. This is definitely a bit heavy, which is perfectly fine. Okay, so also just want to talk a bit about a few of the features of the moss pole. This is the APS D-Type Moss Pole. Of course, D coming from the shape of the moss pole itself, which is in D shape, which helps it sit perfectly in the pots. The back arch sits right perfectly into your pot. It does have 3 different sizes on the back. There are 3 clasps which will help you achieve different thicknesses for different size pots. So the first one is for a 4 to 6 inch pot, which is what I have done. But if you have bigger pots of 12 inches, you can go for the clasp number 2 and 3. The plastic in itself is engineered specifically for this use. It is non-reactive, reusable, recyclable, foldable, and takes good amount of pressure from the plant in the pot. It won't break. It also is resistant to high temperature, so if you've placed it outside somewhere where there's sun, it will still be fine. The honeycomb structure has been researched with over 25 patterns so far in the last 2 years. So they've put 2 years worth of research and engineering on this product, which you can actually see and feel. Like the plastic itself, you can touch and feel that it's such a high quality product. So really happy, really excited to see my Splendid grow huge and large. I have tied these 3 strings to keep it snug with the moss pole, and I'm hoping that it does well. Of course, the plant goes through trauma every time we repot it, so it may take a while to bounce back and for us to see some growth, but I will keep you guys updated on that. I will keep uploading updates of this so that we can see how the moss pole is performing with time. And yes, with that, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much to Aroid Plant Supplies for sending me these moss poles. So kind and so generous of them. Also want to say one more thing, they're so responsive. They have been reverting back to me on and on messages for my questions regarding even couriers. They're really prompt, which is so important in a seller to understand the customer's eagerness to receive their products and to know the basic details of their couriers. So thank you so much to them, and do check out their page, do subscribe to them as well. I hope you watched this video till the end, and if you did, and if you like this video and the whole process of making the moss pole with me, do like this video, do subscribe to my channel, do hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.